Okay, this is a request to all participants. Please unmute, mute their voices and videos for better bandwidth and smooth going to this webinar. Okay, we are at institutional publications, student projects, educational e-content. Nowadays, in this corona pandemic, our teachers are creating videos, question banks, presentation, and so many educational content. So we are how to collect all that content and put in the repository. So this educational content is very important aspect for our repositories. Here we can upload videos, question banks, presentations, lab manuals, practical manuals we can collect. And the guest lectures, speeches, function and program video reports, documentation of that function and program reports, and institutional photo collection. The institution has creating a bulk photo collection every year or maybe every day. We have to give a platform, a digital platform for all that photo collection, newspaper clippings, institutional administrative documents. This is the one of the best practice of our college, and you also create institutional administrative documents. All type of administrative documents you can collect and store and preserve in your digital archive. Data sets, course materials, departmental annual reports, teacher cash reports. This is the very new one. We are our college is going to collect all the cash reports of faculty members and storing in the archive. This is the new initiative taken by our college. So we can upload or we can collect the teachers' cash reports, e-books, audio books. There are so many materials our college is creating, and we have there is no limitations. So we can collect all these content and put in the institute repository. Whenever we're talking about the DSpace implementing and developing the digital platform in our colleges, some things we have to learn, and that things we have to learn in the DSpace are, I'm going to from basic to advanced and some important things. First, at the learning of DSpace, we have to know how to create communities. This is a basic thing, and I think all of people, those are interested in DSpace and attending all the maybe so many workshops in the DSpace, they are going this creating communities, creating collections, inserting items in collection. This is a basic thing. This is a basics work in the DSpace. What is that? What is that? Creating communities, creating collections, and inserting items in the collections. Then email setting and configuration, report generation for evaluation of our digital platform, how many people are using those digital content. So we have to know how to create report generation. Then e-person or user creation, authorization for users. We can authorize the users to give the permission as an editor, as a in a submission workflow. We can authorize the users. It may be our assistant librarian, it may be HODs, it may be your faculty members. So we can easily set a workflow for the institution to insert or upload the document in the repository. Then embargo and versioning. This is a very important thing. We have to learn how to embargo and the versioning of the content. Then customization of input form. Yeah, actually DSpace providing the default input form, and that is the default input form. And there is some limitations are there. We cannot use that input form as a those who are not aware of the DSpace, that clerk level people are very much unaware of the input forms or default input forms. If they are uploading the documents of the newspaper clipping, so they cannot be recognize the fields in the default input form. So we have to create a input forms or customize the input forms. So friends, there are so many, we can create so many input forms for every category or every collection. So we have to know the customization of input form. Then there is another aspect, OAI PMH metadata harvesting. Friends, if you have a not large type of collection in your repository, you can harvest the collection from another repository. Actually, there are two types of harvesting. We can directly metadata harvesting, and you can schedule the harvesting. I think there is a rarely cases who are rarely examples of this scheduled harvesting. You can start a harvester service. You can harvest the data from so many repositories in your repository and give a harvesting or information service for a particular subject. It's for a harvesting services for a particular subject, maybe science domain, maybe commerce. You can choose as per your requirement and use that metadata harvesting, scheduler harvesting. Friends, this is a very useful tools for us to enrich our collection in the D space. Then localization. I think we as a standardized language, we are using English language. But if you are thinking about the Hindi and Marathi, converting the D space into the local language, then you have to know the how to localize the system. So it's a very, and maybe some it take time, it take times, but it can be possible into the space. Then repository logs, how to see the repository log, what type of administrative activities, user activities going on with the D space, we have to know. And as an administrator, we have to watch on these activities. So we have to see the repository logs, how to see the repository logs, what is the records are there. So the backup and restore, it's a very useful, and without backupping and restore, you cannot further go on. And so we have to know how to take backup and restore the backup on the new system. And there is a important thing, how to upgrade the new D space. How we are going to upload, or we are going to choose the new system. Then bulk data importing. Yeah, if you have a large data and you have no human resources to upload all the data in the system, you can choice of the bulk data importing. It's very simple. Through this tool, you can upload the bulk volume of the data in our disk space. Nowadays, what happened? We are going to upload one by one, or single items in the repository or that collections. But we are never thinking that there is a provision of bulk data importing. Okay, cron jobs. Yes, friend, we have to learn these cron jobs. If you are working on the Windows, there you have to batch files, and here you have to create cron jobs. This is a very important aspects. We are talking on that in this webinar further. The user interface customization. Yeah, this is a one-time work, and you have to learn this one-time work. What is the user interface? Just easy. Customize your homepage, upload your banner, upload your newses, upload your necessary content, news notifications, necessary informations on the homepage. So user can easily, and there is because of this user interface, there is a easiness is there. So configuration of handler server. Yes, handler server, I think you all know this handler server. Whenever those who are already working on the D space, as they if they just looking the IDs of the collection and items, their IDs of collection items, there is one oblique. With the first community, there is a one for item, there is some number. So we can give the unique handle for our content. It is the global visibility. It's a trustworthy aspect of our repository. So his handler server is very important. I think those who are have a repository online, they can go for the handler server. There is a separate website of handler server, and they can purchase or subscribe the handler service. It take some money or subscription base. There are some fees to purchase the handler server. Implementation of Orchid. Yeah, if you are going to research data management, then this is ORCID implementation configuration is very important. Very easy. And I think there is so much good documentation also available on the DSpace Wikipedia. Okay, thumbnail management. This is the simple thing, but we are not going for thumbnail. Google Analytics, yeah, for statistics, we have to, because nowadays the statistic is a very important aspect, and we have to create, or we have to generate the statistics for evaluation of repository of any activity. So Google Analytics is a very important thing. There is we can create the reports too. That is the default report system in also available in the DSpace. But Google Analytics give the full-fledged reports. So we have to know how to embed the Google Analytics code into the DSpace. A very simple thing, and some necessary Linux commands. Yeah, today I'm showing all the practicals on the Linux, and I'm choosing the Linux version 2. There is some arguments on the Windows and Linux, but that is not necessary. But I think we have to choose the Linux, and we have to know this some necessary commands, the copy, paste, directory, how to build, rebuild, indexing, creating users, some type of necessary Linux commands which are very necessary, and we have to learn all that command. Going further, going for the practical sessions. First, we have to know what is the content structure in the DSpace. This is a very important thing. DSpace, there is the first and top level, there is a communities. In communities, maybe you can create one more than one community. In community, there are sub communities, and there may be more than one sub community. And under the sub community, or in the sub community, there are the collections, and in the collection, actual item is there. So first community, and their sub community, then collection, then item, and then the art files that call as a bitstream in the DSpace, and metadata. And there is also another thing, third thing is the license. So in every item, there is the files, metadata, and license. So this is the hierarchy. First we have to create communities, then sub-communities, collection, items, such a way. And one thing is there, we cannot upload the items directly to the community. We have to upload this item in the collections. So this you have to know this thing, that we cannot upload the items in the community directly. We have to upload in the collection. So this is the content structure. Okay, this is the last, but okay. System administrative tasks, we take it at the last. So we are going to practical session now. One by one, we are looking the various activities or various tasks which we are going to lead in the practical session. First is the creation of top level community, collection, and how to insert an item in a collection. So friends, just I'm going to DSpace, which is I am installing in my this PC, and I'm showing you how to create a top level community, a collections, and how to insert an item in a collections. Okay, just I'm going to DSpace. This is my default DSpace after the installation. The DSpace window is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the window after the default installation. First screen is this. This is the XMLI interface. There are two interfaces in the DSpace. First is the XMLI, and second is the JSquare. There is so many people asking a question, which is the best interface? Yeah, friends, this is a difficult question. We cannot say that the XMLI is not best and JSquare is the best. Actually, the graphical interface is changed, but I prefer the XML because it's so easy and easy for administrative tasks. So we are using both, and I think whenever you are creating a repository, uh, create both interfaces. Some people are hiding JSPI and giving the access through the XML, and some people are giving JSPI access and hiding XML. Don't do this. Don't do this. Use both, because there are great advantages of XML, because some administrative work we can create did or go for easily in the XML interface. So friends, for starting, I'm just using the XML or maybe a JSP. I'm working on the both. First, this is the first homepage of DSpace repository. And here you see communities in DSpace. There is no community yet, so we are going to create a community. For doing this administrative work, first we have to log in the repository. To log in the repository, just we have to click the login text, which is resides on the right hand side. So here I am going to click login. This email address of administrator and password, which we are going to create in the installation phase. So note down that administrative email address and password. That is the most important thing. Just I have logged in and save my username password here. So I am signing. Okay. After logging as an administrative, just see here, my administrative login credentials will be here in this profile library. You can see here. Here in JSPI, just go on this sign on to and click my DSpace. Here you have to put your email address or user ID or administrative email ID and password and log in. Such a way you can log in the DSpace. Okay. Here I am going to create a community. There is no communities in the DSpace. Just I am going to create a community. Here in the right hand side panels, there is a context. In this context section, here is a create community. Just click the create community. Okay, what is the community, top level community? It is the main container of your repository. It's depend upon you, how you hierarchy or how are you establishing the community, collections, sub communities. It's your choice. Okay, here I'm going to create a top level community. Here I'm directly creating a research publication or faculty publications. I am creating a faculty publications community. You can give the short description, introductory text, copyright text, news. All these feeds will be displayed at the pages of this community. So just this will be, if you have a large type of communities, then be careful to add text because the display will be vary. So take care here to upload the introductory text and news and HTML. Here you have to click the create button. Okay, here you can also upload a logo too. But my suggestion is don't upload the too much large size of logos. You can upload logos here. Okay, here I'm going to update for whatever I necessarily edited there. So just go to return. Here you can see at the DSpace home. Here the first community is created, faculty publications. Like this, in the my DSpace in JSPI version, for creating a community, just go to the browse, communities and collection, click here, create a top level community. Just I'm going to, in this admin tool, I'm just clicking the create top level community. Here I'm giving the name. This is the form of creating community. This window will come, and here I'm giving the, I'm creating a new community that will be a newspaper collection or clipping collection. Okay, and there is also short description, introductory text. You can use here HTML text too. If you know the HTML, you can add the HTML text here, the sidebar. Here you can also create the HTML coding text like slide shows, importing images from online, such type of work you can do it. Maybe embedding the maps. So much things you can create with the HTML tags. So here, logo is there. You can also upload logo and just click this green button, create. Okay, I'm just going home page, clicking by the home on the top menu. Here, my second newspaper clipping collection community is created. Okay, this is how we can create the main top level communities. We can, the top level communities are displayed on the home pages. Okay, again, just I'm going to XML again. Here, I want to create sub community or collections in this top level community. For in creating sub communities or collection in a particular community, just click the top level community. Here, there is no, yet not there, we are not created any sub community or collections. We can create sub community and collection within a community. For that, just we have to get left here in the context. In context menu option, there is a create collection, create sub community. Here we can create another sub community or create a collection. Here I'm going to create a collection. Just I am here faculty publications. So I am creating a collection, that's research articles. My collection name is the research articles. Okay, in name field, I'm giving the research article. Again, I'm skipping this short description, introductory text, copyright text. You can put the copyright introductory. This text will be appear on the home page of collection. Okay, here also we can upload the logo. How to upload the logo? Just click the browse button and just, I have a logo of research article. I'm just using this logo and open. Maybe upload button in your window. Just I'm going to, after uploading, I'm going to click the create button. Okay. After clicking the create button, there is a edit collection pages here. Here we can, there is a first tab, that is the edit metadata. Here we can edit the metadata of that collection. Also assign role tab is there. Here we can assign the administrators or various roles to their particular collection. Who will be submit, who will be the administrator, who, and what is the reject, accept and reject steps we can create here for the particular collections. Here also content rows, we are going for later. Create is option there, four tabs here. Just I'm going to return. Here you can see the faculty publications, and in faculty publication there is a collection which is we are created, that is the research articles. Okay, this is our collection. In this community there is only one collection in the community, that is research article. Just in the JSPY, like the XML, we are creating another collection in the newspaper clipping collection. Just I'm selecting newspaper clipping collection here. Here, as per the XML, here the tools are changed. The admin tools are here. Edit, create collection, create sub community. If you look here in this context section, up in the XML, these, and in this JSP section, this type of provision of admin tools. So I'm just going to create a collection in the newspaper clipping collection. So just click the second option, create collection. Okay. Now what happened that XML, there is a very easy interface, and this is going a new. Okay. Here some options are there. If you are going to advanced process of collection, you can see the submission workflow will be include accept reject step. If someone is uploading document and someone is reviewing that content, then you how to click these options. So for accept and reject and edit metadata, if you have a workflow management in our DSpace, then we have to check all these options. So this is the very important thing for workflow management. For simple creating collection, just the new items should be publicly readable. Just if I uncheck this, the content will be not publicly readable.
Hello, sir. Your PPT is not visible here. Now it's a login page. Sign into DSpace.
Yeah.
Badrinath sir, is it visible on your side?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. Sorry, sir. It's my problem. Okay, sorry.
Okay, Dhakne sir, it is the describe the collection page is there?
Yeah. Describe the collection. New items should be published.
Okay. Thank you for informing me. If there is any problem, please immediately inform me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the two options. Some users will be able to submit this collection. If you want to submit some collection to this, some users to add the items to collection, you have to click that. If you uncheck this option, no one can upload the document except the administrative. So, but for a simple procedure, we are checking these two options and just click the next button. So such type of options is not available in the XML lab. This is the advantages of JSPOA in this creating the collection, but there is some advantages of XML lab in another view. So it's your you to how to use these two type of interfaces in your administration of DSpace. Okay. For creating, we have to describe the collection here. First, the collection name is I'm creating newspaper clipping, that is for year. In newspaper clipping community, I am creating a collection newspaper clipping 2020. There is in newspaper clipping community, I am going to create a 10 collections as per the year of the newspaper clipping. Here, what I'm going to do is I am uploading the year-wise newspaper clippings in the collection. So, just like that, short description, introductory text, copyright text, sidebar text, you can upload the text. Here are the license. This is a very important thing. Whenever you are creating any digital content, please create a license. Maybe common creative license you can create easily. So create a common creative or any your public. It's a planning of any repository. That's first how user can use your content. There is any license. So you have to create a license policy and you have to upload that license policy here. So friends, now DSpace is not creating or installing a software. Whenever you are going to visible your digital content of institutional aspect, you have to create a license. How to user can use that content. So focus on the license for your license text or license profile of your institution. Okay, then you can also create a logo here. This time not going for logo. I'm just clicking next. Here also, here is the authorization submit. In XML, there is also authorization tab. Here is a direct page. Here you can add the e-persons and their roles. It's useful for workflow management. This page is useful for workflow management. I'm not doing anything here. Just going next, clicking the next. Here again, we can the collection we can edit the collection here and create upload the logo here. If you see here accept reject steps provision is there. This is a very easy one. Whenever you are going to create a collection in the JSPY, because the easiness is here. And accept easiness in the aspect of settings. We can edit metadata steps, collection administrator, who will be the administrator of collection. If there are so many, if there are so many collections, and you are thinking that this collection is administered by a faculty or HOD of a particular subject, you can give a permission or assign a role for that administrative work for particular teacher or faculty member from here, collection administrators. So you can create here collection administrators. Okay, just I'm harvesting setting. I'm not going to here. Just I'm going to update the information. It will be create our collection in the community. Just I'm going to home page, clicking by the home button on the top bar menu. Here in newspaper collection, I have a collection, newspaper clipping 2020. Okay, such a way we can create a community, and in the community we can create the collections. There is one aspect, we cannot create directly collection on the home page. We have to create a community. Now, interesting thing is that whenever people are creating or developing in this space repository, they have first thing they have thinking that how I can create a home page. What will be in the home page? It will be a institutional name, or it will be a collection names, or sub-community, community and sub-community. This is a very interesting thing. If in my opinion is that if you are going for an institutional repository, college level institutional repository, create a collection type, maybe a category type of content categories. That's the research articles, newspaper clippings, maybe magazines, proceedings, public academic publications, such type of categories created as a communities on the home page here. That is a very useful for the users to locate the content. There is another thing. If you are going to create a digital repository for more than one college, then you have to create a community. You have to create a communities of every colleges. Here, if you are going to maybe more than 2 colleges or 5 colleges, or maybe a chain of colleges, you can create a college names here. So it's a very useful for, and also you can create a multiple colleges, these space repositories here. So this is our aspect, what we are going to show the users, how easiness we are going to give to the user. Just I'm going to inserting an item in the collection. How to insert the item in the collection? Just I'm going to I'm clicking the newspaper clipping collection. Here I'm uploading an item in the newspaper clipping. Just I'm clicking the newspaper clipping collection. Here newspaper clipping page is there, and to submit a new item to this collection, we have to click here. This submit a new item to the collections. Okay, this is the item submission page, and we have to this is divided into the describe, upload, and review, analysis, and complete. These are the stages: describe, upload, review, analysis, and finally complete. We have to go to this procedure. First, we have to describe the item. This is the default input form. Friends, this is the default input form. Look at here: author, title, author title, date of issue, publisher, citation, series report number, identifier, type, and language. This is the default. Whenever you are creating any collection, this is the default input form of all that collection. So here I'm going to author. This is the for last name. Just I'm going to clicking my name, Kalloli. I'm just here, Kalloli PS. Here I can add the another user by clicking this add button. Okay, I'm clicking add button for another. This is the party. SP. What happening? I am inserting an item in the newspaper clipping and I am giving the author names. Actually here, newspaper name will be here. So it will be a very difficult to recognize the metadata or bibliography description, because we are uploading the data in the newspaper clipping and using the default input form, and in default input form there is a option authors. If you design a bibliography description or bibliographic content or metadata for a newspaper, the first field will be a newspaper name, but here we are using author. This is the difference when we actually working on the DSpace. So just okay, I'm just putting the author names here. And here the lookup and add. We can search the previously added author names here and select those authors to avoid the errors in the inputting the name of the authors. Then title. Here the newspaper function on maybe library exhibition, on maybe library exhibition. Okay. Other title, maybe subtitle you can put here. Date of the issue, that may be a 2020, and that activity newspaper clipping from the January 12. And the publisher, who is the publisher? That newspaper clipping from the Sakal newspaper. Okay. Citation. For newspaper clipping, if you have a citation, you can upload the citation here. This is very useful for books, journal articles, any other digital content. Okay, you can put your citation here. Citation is a very important thing. If you have going to research management portal or archive, then you have to put the citations of every items. If you are going to upload teachers research articles, then don't leave this blank. You have to put this, you have to insert the citation of each item, each research article here. Okay, series and report number, it's not related to the newspaper category, so I'm going to blank. For if you have reports, project reports, if you have a research reports, you can also add here the resource series or report number. Identifier, if you have a SSN number, ISM, URI, ISBN, you can add here. Here, universal resource identifier, you can add here the actual address of that content in by selecting URI. If you are importing or taking the content from another website, then you can add that location or add that identifier here. Okay, just I'm going to blank here. Type, what type of content it is? This is the default content types. You can create your own content types in the input form. This is animation, article, book chapter, data sets. This is the default types, document types are here. Just I'm going here and my newspaper clipping is the, actually we have to create here a newspaper clipping data type, document type, but that document type is not here. Just I'm going to clicking the article. I'm just assuming that this is the article. Then language. In language, here is the, I think 7 or 8 languages: English, Spanish, German. Actually creating this space in our institution, this Spanish, German, French, Italian, Japanese, and all these languages are not preferable. And maybe we have to create here English, Hindi, and Marathi. So how to create that? We can create these aspects in the input form. You can edit these types in the input forms. Okay, I will show you how to edit the document types and the languages. Okay, we can we read the Spanish, German, French, and put the necessary things. Okay, then language. Then we have to go next. I'm clicking the next. Here, describe the item. This is the very important thing. If you fail here, the item will be not visible, not good searchable. You have to give the keywords for that item. Friends, whenever you uploading any document, please first work is create the keywords for that item, because if you are giving more keywords, the visibility is more. So don't underestimate the subject keywords. Just give the much more keywords. If this is a newspaper clipping, I'm giving these the people's associate people's mentioned in the newspaper clippings, the subject of that a newspaper clipping. So it may be a library activity. This book exhibition theme is the theme will be Shahu Maharaj Jayanti. Such type of keywords we can create. If you want to add another keyword, just click the add button. Okay, then give the abstracts, who is the sponsor, and the description of the item. You can create this. Just and after entering the text, just click the next button. Here, the next process is the in item submission, this upload files. We have to upload actual files here. These files are called as the bit streams. In this space, this is called as a bit streams. Files are called as the bit streams. Okay, you can add the files here in this file section. Here is a browse button. You just click the browse, and the file manager will come and select the appropriate item here. I'm just here. I have a research article, newspaper clipping. Okay, this is my newspaper clipping. This is the in JPG format. If available, you can take as a PDF format too. So I'm just selecting that item and click the open button. Okay, just give the description. You can also give the file description, maybe a name. It is very useful for to locate what type of file, what is the description of the file. This is a very useful. If you are giving the uploading the question papers, then this file description is very important, because we hurriedly we upload the question papers in a collection, but actually whenever it display to the users, only file's name will be displayed, and file description section will be empty. So the student cannot be recognize what type of file this. So whenever you are going to upload more files, so then you have to give the file description. If there is a 4-part, give the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, such type of file description you have to create. This is very useful in the reports, news, question papers. Okay, then if you upload another file, just click the upload file, add another. We can create more, we can upload more than one files here. Okay, then I'm going to next. Okay, just I have some error here. Okay, such a way we can insert the items here. Just I'm going to click this space, clipping, just I'm clicking, I'm just clicking here, select this collection. Okay, just give Kaloli Pierce. Title is annual, maybe Kaloli, it may be a Sakal. Annual function 2020. Other title I'm expecting. Date of issue is month. I'm going to March. Day is 15 and year is 2020. Okay, publisher is now, this is a newspaper clipping, so I am giving the newspapers. Sakal, citation I have not, ISBN, type I have, this time order, language I'm clicking English. Okay, that error is coming due to the language. I am not properly selected. The language is the compulsory field and I am not selecting that language there. So that error is coming. Maybe this is a possibility. Just I'm going to next. Here I'm keyword library. Just I'm putting only one keyword here and just I'm not going to fill this text here. I'm just going to next. Here I'm to upload the file here. This is the JS file. Just select the files. Newspaper clipping, I'm selecting, open. Just I'm going to, here also the description is here. You have to give the descriptions. As I mentioned, as I say previously, just go to next. Okay, look at here. This is upload successfully. Just, this is JPG format. Okay, no description is here. So I'm going to next. Okay. Then I'm going to again next. This is a verified submission. We can edit the content of that metadata here or description or any change. If you have any changes, you just correct one of these. Then next. Then is the license. This is the default license. You can create your own license. There is a file of license. You can upload your text and that license that will be appear here. This I'm using this default DSpace license, and then I grant. This is I grant the license. Okay, submission is completed. Such a way we can upload the item in the collections. Just I'm going to submit another item to the collection, same collection. No, I'm not interested now. Just I'm going to home page, and here home page in this newspaper collection or community. If you see here, the counter is going to 0 to 1. So there is one item. It says in this collection there is a one item. Just I'm clicking the collection and open the collection. This is the item page. Here collections, items in the collections are appear here. That is the date. We can view here thumbnail is not appearing here because we are not enabling the thumbnail. So we have to, if you enable the thumbnail, in the preview section, the preview thumbnail will be there. There is a default there. You can make a settings for preview thumbnail. Okay, I'm clicking just annual function, which is uploaded by me. And this is the item page. This is the metadata descriptions, title, authors, keywords, issue date, publisher, URI. And here that exact file is here, which I have uploaded. Newspaper clipping, open. And this is my exact uploaded item. Such a way user can see the content. One thing is here, if you see here, description is not here. And so we cannot recognize which, if you hear part 1, part 2, part 3, then we have to give the description here. Okay, this is very important when we go upload the reports and previous question papers. Actually here you can see the full item records by clicking the show full items. Here the metadata description is here, DC fields, you can assume this DC fields here. Okay, and again I'm going to back. here, and I am again going to newspaper clipping. If I want to edit or delete this item, I want to add or delete this item, I have to select that, and I have to click the edit tools. Here is the in admin tools, there is the edit button. If you want to update any content or any data, you have to click this edit. Okay, taking time. Okay. Here, here the schema, element, qualifier, and value. In this value section, you can edit the values and save the changes. And here in the bitstream section, bitstreams means, as I say, these are the files, exact files. So we can delete the bitstreams by clicking this delete icon, red icon. So here is also license. We can delete the license too after the making the, or if you want to add some files here, then add bitstream. You can add a item here. So then this is the update button. After making the changes, just click the update button. Okay, such a way you can create the, or update the, or edit the item or bitstreams. Okay, but I want to delete this or withdraw. Here is the provision in actions, withdraw or delete. Just if you want to delete this item, just click the delete button, or withdraw. You want to not, you are not going to delete, but you are withdrawing from displaying to the user, so you can click the withdraw. Here move item, from after clicking this move item, you can move that item from one collection to another collection. This is collection to move from, this is from newspaper clipping 22, and move to, I want to move to the research article. Okay, just click the move button. It will be moved from one collection to the another collections. Okay, I'm just coming here. Authorizations, again, there is a make item private. Okay, if you want to making this item as a private, only administrator or maybe authorized users can see this item. You can make this item private. No normal user can see the item, because this is we are going to make as a private. Okay, this is how we can add and delete the item. Just I'm going to further. This is a simple and basic thing in the DSpace. You can just how to, and this is a basic how to create community collection and how to insert an item in the collections. So, and this is how edit the item. Okay, and next I'm going to, for the input forms, just I'm going to display form. In a newspaper clipping, here in this newspaper clipping collection, I'm going to add another item. And how to add? Go to the collection and click the submit to this collection. This is in the green button. So submit, I'm going to submit on. This is the default input form, and I want to change this input form. Okay, how to do that? Just I'm going to back to my presentation. Wait a minute. Okay, how to customize the input form? Sir, my PPT is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. To customize the input form, we're going to customize this default form. This is the default input form, and we are going to customize this. Okay, how to customize this? Create a space, separate collection. Just I'm creating a collection is there as a newspaper clipping. Open. Now there is a file that is called as a input-forms.xml. That files containing the all the program codes of that input forms. So we have to change this, make the changes in the input forms file. Which is that file? That file is input forms.xml. Okay, what is that file? Input forms XML. And where is this file? This is in the config folder. And where is that config folder? In the dspace installation folder. So we have to go to the dspace, and in this space there is a config folder, and in that config folder we have to go to the open the input forms XML. So I am going to the open this file and seeing the records. Okay, just I'm if I want to share, stop share, and I want to screen this. Just I'm going to my terminal. With the help of the terminal, I will be hello.
Yes,
Hello?
sir. हाँ सर, हाँ सर.
शेयर स्क्रीन होत नाहीये.
एक मिनिट.
Wait, sir.
तिकडून बंद केले का बघा.
Wait, sir. Wait.
हाँ सर, चेक करा.
नाही होत. आता काय दिसतंय?
Okay.
हॅलो.
No, share your user. Hello.
हॅलो. हॅलो.
हाँ सर.
काय दिसतंय काय?
ब्लँक स्क्रीन दिसते. जरा एकदा परत शेअर करा.
नाही, शेअर होत नाही. शेअर बटन क्लिक होत नाही. बहुतेक माझं ऍप्लिकेशन हँग झालंय.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा.
मी जस्ट काय करतो, मी बाहेर पडतोय आणि परत जॉईन होते.
हाँ हाँ, रिजॉइन करा सर.
पण इथं जॉईनच होत नाही.
Sir. You are the host. Allow them to share.
डाकणे सर, त्यांचं ॲप हँग झालेलं आहे. एक 2 मिनिटं ते लिव्ह होऊन 2 मिनिटात जॉईन होतील. मग आपण त्यांना हे करू. तिकडून त्यांच्याकडून प्रॉब्लेम झालेला आहे. Dear participant, please wait for some minutes. Resource person will be rejoin this meeting, so please cooperate.
हा, गायकवाड सर.
हाँ सर.
तुम्ही असं करणार का? त्याची माझी एक व्हिडिओ तुम्हाला दिली आहे माहिती आहे का?
हाँ 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 हाँ, आहे सर.
आता माझा आवाज सगळ्यांना ऐकू येतो का?
हो सर, हो सर.
Dear participants, just I have a technical errors here. I have to reboot my computer, so it will be further going for smooth going. Just I am creating a video on bulk importing. How to go for a bulk importing factor. Actually, if you have a huge number of data and you are going to uploading data one by one, this is a bad practice. If you have great or large volume of data, more than 1,000 or more than 1,000 items are there, and you can upload all that bulk data as a single file, as a single click. How to do it? There is a video of 10 or 15 minutes. Just go for that. I think on the YouTube, that video is not there any documentation, or there are less documentation on how to bulk upload in the disk space. This is a very useful tools. You can see that all that how to do it in the video. Gaikwad sir,
येस सर.
व्हिडिओ लावणार?
हो हो लावतो सर,
मी
लावतो.
कॉम्प्युटर रिबूट करतोय.
बल्क इम्पोर्टिंगचा व्हिडिओ लावतो सर.
बरोबर बरोबर.
Sir,
हाँ सर.
can I share?
ढाकणे सर मी शेअर केलेले आहे.
दिसत नाही. दिसत नाही. स्टॉप करा तुम्ही. स्क्रीन शेअरिंग स्टॉप करा मी करते.
ओके ओके. हाँ ढाकणे सर करा तुम्ही.
ओके. इट इज विज्युअल. Aniket.
Yes sir, got it.
Audible.
Wait, video still not started. Just main page is displaying on screen. Video still not started. ढाकणे sir, please start video. It is not audible.
Audible, sir. Audible.
Still not audible.
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. I will share.
Okay, sir. ढाकणे सर, तुमच्या पीसी मध्ये सिस्टीम ऑडिओ ऍक्टिव्हेट करा. सिस्टीम ऑडिओ सेम एज सिस्टम. सिलेक्ट microphone or speaker same as system, then it will be audible.
Hi friends.
Yes, got it.
Slowly. And in these sessions, we are going for batch importing this space. Load bulk data or items in our institution repository. Okay, what is the bulk import? We all know in this space or in our institution repository, by traditionally we are, or by default, we are uploading a single item through input forms in every collection. And whenever we creating history repository, we have a huge volume of data, and we are wasting our time to upload single item in the collections. So we always searching for a solution for bulk uploading. Let's see how to upload bulk data into our history repository. For batch importing and bulk importing in this space, there are some prerequisites, that is Java JDK, Git, Maven, and SAP Builder. We have to install these 4 applications in our system. So let's start. We are going to install one by one. First, we are going for installing Java JDK. I am going for Java JDK. First, go to the terminal and go to the terminal with superadmin privileges. Just give the su command, superadmin. I'm going to LXT terminal. I'm opening LXT terminal and just entering in super user su. I'm giving my password for super admin privileges to my user. Yeah, you look at here that my user display change. Now I'm going to install the first prerequisite, that is Java JDK. It's very easy to install Java JDK. Just we have to run a command, that is sudo apt get install default -jdk. Here is that command. Just we have to copy this command and paste into the terminal. Just I'm pasting here, edit and paste. Okay, just enter. It will be install default Java JDK. Okay, it's done. It's upgraded. Actually, I have installed already here. It's installed. Again, I'm going to my second prerequisite, that is a Git. Installing Git. It's also easy. Just I have to copy this command, that is sudo apt get install Git. Just paste here. Installing and configuration started and it's over. Okay, it takes few minutes. I'm clearing my screen. I'm now going for my fourth, that is Maven. The command for the Maven is sudo apt get install Maven. I'm just highlighting the steps here. As first, the second, and this is my third. Just I am copying the command and pasting. Yeah, it shows the error. I think I am not copying properly. The command is wrongly copied. Just I am going back. Yeah, that yes is not copied. I'm copying again. Pasting. Yeah, it started. It's asked for continue, yes or no. We have to press yes. Okay, it takes a minute or 2 minutes. It depends upon your internet connectivity. It fetching the data and installing the Maven. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes.
हाँ सर.
कळलंय सर.
हाँ.
Shall you continue?
या असू दे सुरू.
नाही काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही, तुमचा जर कंटिन्यू करणार असेल तुम्ही तर हा बंद
नाही.
करतो मी.
हा दाखवायचंच आहे, असू दे
बरं
का?
बरं ठीक आहे, काय अडचण नाही आहे.
ठीक आहे, हे झालं पुढचं घेतो की.
Actually, this 4 prerequisites are very, it's compulsory, and these are very easy to
हे असू दे का
install.
चालू?
Just we have
Okay,
to
sir.
look
Okay,
at
okay,
4
okay.
commands,
ओके.
and we have to just copy and paste that 4 commands in
हा
the
सर,
terminal.
सर
Then
हा सर.
असू द्या, कंटिन्यू
automatically
10-15 मिनिटं आहे.
install the
ओके
prerequisite.
ओके सर.
It's finishing. We have just installed the Maven app. Yeah, it's installed. It's coming to my users. Again, my fourth is the SAP builder. I'm going for downloading and installing the SAP builder. SAP builder is an important thing here, because in this space, whenever we're going to batch import, it requires simple archive format, and SAP builder converts or creates the simple archive format for us, which is very easy to batch import to this space. Yeah, so we are using SAP builder for creating simple archive format, which is useful for batch importing. Yeah, I'm just SAP builder, a tool that turns content files and metadata spreadsheet into a simple archive format, which is imported in this space. Just we have to copy this command. With this command line, we can easily install the SAP builder in our system. Just we have to copy this and paste into our system. Just I'm clearing the screen and pasting. Yes, it takes maybe 20 or 30 seconds. Yeah, it is installed because SAP builder is I'm already installed, so it says installed successfully. Okay, now I am successfully installed the SAP builder and all the prerequisites which are required for my work input. Now I have to update my system with this command sudo apt-get update. So I will update my system. It takes 4 or 5 minutes to my system is getting ready for my work. Okay, it's finishing. Now we are importing Excel or CSV file. First, we have to create that Excel or CSV file to import in this space. First, we are going to prepare an Excel file of data which are we going to import. This is my PDF files which I am going to import. These files are stored in Home, SAP Builder, and SRC. It's a better way. Always store your data in the SAP folder. This is my PDF files. Now I am going to importing all these. I have to create a Excel file, and in the Excel file I have to put a header here, file name, title, creator, type, subject, and language. I am inserting all the concerned bibliographic description of each and every file here. If you see, first I put file name, then I dc.title is the titles of the content, then dc.creator, creators means authors, type, dc.subject, dc.language. You can also add dc.date, dates of creation of particular content, dc description of every content, and abstract too. But for this work, I am not going for this dc date, description, and abstract. I'm only rely on my 4 or 5 content. These are the Dublin Core metadata tags you have to use That's here in the first line, header of the first Excel file, header of the Excel sheet. Save this Excel file as a CSV format and save this file in the same folder where our files are stored. Again, make sure that all your files and CSV files are stored in a same folder. Now open a terminal. We are creating simple archive file here. Open terminal. We have to run the SAP builder and create a simple archive format zip file with the help of the data and the CSV file. So here what we are doing, first I am going to as a super user here, and this is my SAP builder files, and this is the SAP builder folder. I am just going into the SAP builder folder, cd, that the command is cd SAP builder. I am entering in the SAP builder folder. Here I am giving the command. This is the SAP builder sh. We have to run this file and we have to create a simple archive format zip file. Here, look at here how I am giving the command dot slash SAP builder dash sh dot c. Here I am giving the exact path of that CSV file, that is src news 2017 slash news clippings dot CSV file and dash z. This is my command. Here this is the path and dash z is for creating zip file. Okay, I'm clicking enter. It's recompiling the SAP builder, and just we have to wait 2 or 3 minutes. It's depend upon the how much data you are compiling. For this process, I am going for 27 records. But if your records are more than 100 or 1000, it takes more than 1 hour too. So it depends upon the size of volume. So wait for some time. It will be process the data. Once again, we explaining that command. Yeah, it is processing. It says successfully compiling the SAP builder, then detected the input CSV file and importing the CSV file. There are 3 files which are not imported due to a file name. Okay, it means there are 3 records which are not imported and 24 records are imported. Okay, it successfully created a simple archive file. It says that the file simple archive format zip has been created. Okay, that zip file is exact in that folder where we are putting our content. Here, this is our simple archive format file. This is zip, and this zip file we are using to import in the disk space. Okay, friends, like this we can create a simple archive format with the help of SAP builder. Now I'm going to open my disk space and importing that simple archive format in a collection. Here I'm opening my disk space. Actually, in previous steps, we install the prerequisite software and then we create the simple archive format zip file with the help of SAP Builder. Now we are importing that simple archive format in the collection. So it's so easy. This is my repository, and here I'm going to create a community, separate community for importing the content. First, I'm going to log in here. Thus, I'm putting my login details, username and password, and signing in. Okay, I sign in. Now, first I am creating a community and create a collection in it for the importing the zip file. So this is my steps. I'm logging as an administrator and repeating the steps here. And creating a community. Okay. Yeah, here I'm already created a community batch importing. I'm here creating a new collection. Create a collection. Newspaper clipping 2017. Here in this collection, I'm creating it. In this collection, I am importing that newspaper clippings of 2017, which is in the simple archive format, the zip file created by SAP Builder. Yeah, I'm coming back to that collection. I'm selecting that collection. Here is this collection, newspaper clipping 2017. Here in the right hand panel, there is in administrative panel, there is option batch import zip. Click this batch import zip. This will be start the import batch process. Select the collection. My collection is newspaper clipping 2017. Just click the browse. This is my file in the SAP Builder SRC, which is I am created through the SAP Builder. This file I have to upload there. Just click the browse and click the upload simple archive format. Here, select that file. I'm selecting that file. Yes, this is my zip file. Opening it and upload simple archive format zip. I'm clicking this button. Now, in this zip file, I have imported 27 items. It depends upon the size of the value, so it takes some time. My upload successful. Here is the notice status. Upload successful, and these are the items which are imported from that simple archive format. I think there are 23 items are here because 3 or 4 items are not uploaded here. So these are my items which are uploaded in my newspaper 2017 collection. Let's see how my collections will be. Here I am, this is my community batch importing. In batch importing, I have created newspaper clipping 2017. Look at here, there are 28 numbers. Previously there is 0. So I am selecting that newspaper clipping, and this is the data which I have imported. In such a way, we can import the data into the collection. This is the simple way. Just see. I'm going to see one record here. I'm clicking one newspaper clipping. Just I'm clicking and open that record. Yes, this is the metadata, and it's fine. Okay, and this is title, and this is the file. Okay, in file section, exact file is here. So I'm going to open this file and see the file. Okay, it's by default opening with. So I'm open this file. My file, which is open. This is a PDF file. It's look good. The file imported in the collection, and I'm open it. I just close it. Such a way we can import the data in the displays through the SAP Builder. This is the simple archive format. If you learn this, then it will be a great thing. You can import huge volume data in your space. Just you have to structure your CSV file. Then you have to create the or install this necessary softwares, and then it's so easy. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to DSpace Learning. Myself Prashant Kaloli, and in these sessions we are going for
हाँ सर. Hello. Hello. ए तनिष्का, आदित्य, ए इंटरनेट लावलाय इंटरनेटवर.
हॅलो सर.
हा सर. येतोय आवाज?
कंटिन्यू. हा येतोय, आवाज येतोय तुमचा.
पण माझा पीसी हँग का व्हायला इथंच येऊन परत 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 तिथंच स्टेजला आलो.
होय का?
बेटा माझा आवाज येतोय पण स्क्रीन शेअर होत नाही. बेटा सर.
ओके.
शेअर स्क्रीन डिसेबल आहे का तिकडे बघा तिकडे माझ्यासाठी.
सर डिसेबल आहे सर, ऑल पार्टिसिपंट्स आहे.
माझं का होत नाहीये. मला जर मी रिमूव्ह करणार.
लिव्ह होत आहे का? कारण की रिमूव्ह केलं तर परत रिजॉईन करायला प्रॉब्लेम आहे. लिव्ह करा मीटिंग आणि परत रिजॉईन करा.
नाही मला इथे ते बटन चालू होत नाही.
ऑल पार्टिसिपंट्स आहे. हु कॅन शेअर ऑल पार्टिसिपंट. हु कॅन स्टार्ट शेअरिंग व्हेन समवन एल्स शेअरिंग ऑल पार्टिसिपंट.
वेट. नाही असं होतं कामा नये. असं करणार.
हा सर.
ती माझी दुसरी व्हिडिओ लावणार.
ठीक आहे.
तेच सांगणार आहे मी हार्वेस्टिंगचं. तेच सांगणार आहे.
ठीक आहे. टाकणे सर. हॅलो. ढाकणे सर. Just a minute.
Hi friends, I'm Prashant Kaluri. Welcome to this space learning. This session is on metadata.
द्वारा डायल किया गया नंबर अभी व्यस्त है.
हाँ सर. हेलो सर. हाँ सर.
हेलो.
Well, that was Mr. Prashant Kalloni of Bhogavati College, Kurukadi, Kolhapur. Thank you, sir, for your great presentation.
कन्क्लुडिंग सांगितलंय त्याला. कन्क्लुडन सांगितलंय त्याला. फोन केला मी त्याला. हो बरोबर. प्रॉब्लेम आला. कन्क्लूड करा सर. हो काय डिस्टर्ब झालेलं आहे. कन्क्लूड करा. काय क्वेश्चन आपण
आले का? लोळे आले का?
ढाकणे सर. ढाकणे सर. हेलो.
अनिकेत 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 ऑडिओ कुठे गेला? ऑडिओ कर.
ढाकणे सर आवाज येत नाहीये व्हिडिओचा. अनिकेत आवाज येत नाहीये व्हिडिओचा. Dear participants, sorry for disturbance due to the technical problem. Kallol sir, please unmute yourself. Yes, sir.
ठीक आहे, माझी स्लाइड दिसते का?
Hmm,
हो दिसते सर.
एक मिनिट दिसेल आता.
सेटिंग करा ना.
ओके, हा झालं, दिसते स्क्रीन.
हाँ सर, हाँ सर.
Okay, participants, very sorry that there is a, technical issue in my side. You see that how to import the bulk importing in the disk space. Just we are going to embargo. Just I'm going to fast because that session is disrupted. I'm focusing on the main sections where we have to look after embargo and request a document copy. You can set a setting for embargo or a request a document copy feature. So for doing the embargo, just you have to log in or you have to open the file, that is the item submission XML, which is in the config folder. This is very easy. After opening the item submission XML file, just find the step 4. What is the step 4? That is step 4 is the upload item with the embargo features. And here we have only you have to uncomment the steps. That is the steps, that heading submit
Software useful for schools.
yeah, this is the this space is not they are not saying that they are built only for college libraries or academics. This is digital this is the application for storing and preserving the digital content, and digital content is not in the only library. It may be various digital contents are generated in various fields, maybe hospitals, engineering offices, just your administrative offices. There are digital content, and to manage that digital content, the software is there. So not only the library, we can use this in the medical store. They also started the digital content too. Maybe storing their applications, manuals, PDF files, etc. In school libraries, they can also started this space. They can store their teachers' education notes, maybe course materials, and start a digital preservation and give the access to the users. Okay.
Last question of this QA session, sir. Apart from DSpace, are there any other softwares?
Yeah, there is a for Windows. Actually, this space is for Linux, and it also used on the Windows. And this is the first option, and this is a great option first. And the alternatives, there is a Windows option. Greenstone is there. That is a very easy to install, and it's a Windows oriented. And there is a Fedora Commons is there. Maybe there is a another Omeka. Omeka is a great facility, and Omeka has the great user interface. Simplicity is there, so you can also use the Omeka too. Fedora Commons is there. Maybe Greenstones and DSpace. Actually, there is a work going on OCLC. They are trying to accommodate all the open source application related to the library science. That may be LMS, digital content, reference service. So that project is going on. Let's see in the coming years that project will be available for everyone. Okay, thank you.
There was a question on this installation part of the DSpace software, but let me tell you on behalf of Prashant Kalloli, Badrinath Dhakne, and Mahesh Gaikwad that it is a lengthy process, and we will plan one FDP on that also. Am I right, Mr. Mahesh Gaikwad, sir?
Yes, definitely. We will organize it.
So we will plan such FDP program, faculty development program for the librarians, and then we will let you know about that particular program on our say for instance group.
Yes, sir.
But let me congratulate Gaikwad sir, then Kalloli sir, Badrinath Dhakne for doing this particular webinar on DSpace, how to create digital library. Now it is time to say goodbye And for that purpose, I would like to request Mr. Mahesh Gaikwad to propose vote of thanks. Thank you, Kalloli sir. Thank you, Mahesh.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to all. It's my great privilege to propose vote of thanks on the occasion of one-day national webinar on creating digital library by using open source software DSpace Basic to Advanced. Actually, participants asked that is it there any installation process will be shown by Prashant Kalloli sir. Sorry for that, it is not possible in one lecture to complete the whole process of installation and customization of DSpace. So now I would like to thanks first of all Mr. Prashant Kalloli sir for such a wonderful and informative lecture. Then now I would like to express my sincere thanks to Honorable Principal Dr. S.T. Saunke sir and also Honorable Principal Dr. Mohan Rajmane sir for providing continuous encouragement and support. I would also wish to express my gratitude Dr. M.B. Sheikh sir, Management Council member of Rayat Shikshan Samstha Satara, for his attendance and appreciation for this webinar. Thank you very much, sir. I must mention my deep appreciation to Professor S.R. Dubal sir, Vice Principal of Shahu College, Professor S.A. Patil sir, Vice Principal of HGM College, then Dr. S.M. Sate sir, Coordinator of IQAC and who has done a very nice anchoring. And I would like to also thanks Dr. V.V. Killedar sir, S.V. Patil sir, P.S. Chogule sir, P.T. Bhate sir for your cooperation and support. I also deliberately thanks to Mr. Aniket Jadhav who has provided all technical support to conduct this webinar. And last but not least, I would also express my great gratitude about all participants who have responded overwhelmingly for this webinar. And so now on this word, I would like to declare that the one-day national webinar is over. If any announcement, then please over to the darkness, sir. Thank you.
There is no announcement. Stay home, stay healthy. Stay safe.
Sir, feedback form will be shared on YouTube channel also, on Telegram group also, and please share a feedback link on here also, on Zoom chat box. Yes, participant please feedback form is available in Zoom chat also. Certificate will be shared on your mail. It is not automatically generated. It will be shared after 3, 4, 5 days. So please cooperate. Thank you, Kalloli sir, for your presentation.
Thank you, Gaikwad sir, and thank you, Dr. sir, for giving me a great opportunity, and hopes whatever I do, share the knowledge, it is useful. And this is a great initiative taken by the Rayat Shikshan Samstha's 2 colleges. I am.
This is the last announcement. The feedback form is available for only 30 minutes. So request all participants to fill as early as possible. Thank you.
Thank you all of you. Thank you both the colleges to.
Kalloli sir.
Okay sir. Thank you.
मला एक विचारायचं होतं की आमच्या रयत शिक्षण संस्थेची एक संस्था लेवलला रिपॉझिटरी तयार करायची आहे, तर ते पॉसिबल होऊ शकेल का? 40-45
हा रिपॉझिटरी होऊ शकेल.
हा सर.
ऍक्च्युली तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी एकच प्लॅटफॉर्म तयार करायला हवा आणि एक सर्व्हरवर घ्यावं लागेल. त्या सर्व्हरवर तुम्हाला एकच डिस्पेस इन्स्टॉल करावे लागेल.
अच्छा अच्छा.
आणि एका डिस्पेस मध्ये जसं आपण कलेक्शन कम्युनिटीज करतो वेगवेगळ्या,
अच्छा,
त्या कम्युनिटी वेगवेगळ्या तुम्ही कॉलेजच्या, जसं आपण रिसर्च आर्टिकल, न्यूजपेपर क्लिपिंग, क्वेश्चन पेपर असे कम्युनिटी करतो, त्या कम्युनिटी करण्यामध्ये तुम्ही इन्स्टिट्यूशनच्या नावाने कम्युनिटी तयार करा.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा.
म्हणजे आता तुमचं असेल SGM असेल, शाहू कॉलेज असेल, मे बी तुमचं रुकडीचं कॉलेज, असं सगळ्यांचे कॉलेज 40 कॉलेज किंवा काय जास्त असतील ते 40 कॉलेजची एकत्र यादी ऑप्शन आहे. त्यामध्ये प्रत्येक जो समजा तुम्ही SGMचं कलेक्शन बघणार आहात तर तुम्ही त्याचा ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेटर राहा, असं प्रत्येकाला तुम्ही ऍडमिन करू शकता. प्रत्येक कॉलेजला प्रत्येक लायब्ररी हा ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेटर राहील.
अच्छा.
आणि तो फक्त त्याच कलेक्शन मध्ये इनपुट करेल डाटा. शक्य आहे. आणि आपण हे कसं आहे, इथं जसं आपण आपली इंडिव्हिज्युअल हँडल करतो त्याच पद्धतीने आहे, फक्त इथं सर्व्हर घ्यावं लागेल तुम्हाला. एक सर्व्हरवर काम करायला, कारण 40 पेक्षा जास्त लोकांचं जेव्हा तुम्ही कराल, डाटा स्टोरेज मे बी 4 TB 5 TB प्रोव्हिजन करावी लागेल आणि तुम्हाला बँडविड्थ प्रोव्हिजन करावी लागेल मोठी. तो तुम्ही जर हे केलं तरी पॉसिबल आहे, काही अडचण नाही.
ओके सर, थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.